Most fathers believe that providing a paycheck is enough. Well, today, it's not enough for our children. With the fast paced society, we must stop and realize that just going to work and providing a paycheck for our children, let alone our complete family, is just not enough. Children require more. They require attention. They require time. They require us to be there for them. Okay? And today, I'm going to bring out 5 points that I believe will help fathers at any point and any time of their life, regardless of where they're at. This is not necessarily a linear approach to life and rearing your children, but it is an approach that will help fathers in any situations that they are in. Because I truly believe that fathers are looking for a way to really support their children, okay? So let's look at it. Most of the time, fathers are unintentionally, thinking that they're providing for their children by going to work and buying them things, okay? And children, a lot of time, depending on their character, will begin to show us one way or another whether they really, really value what we're doing, okay? A lot of times, children will act out when their fathers are not giving them the time that they really need and the time that they basically really deserve. Okay? Now, it's in areas of helping our children find their identity, understand their character, and also prepare them into their future. That's the reason providing a paycheck, man, it's just not enough. Okay? So in this video, we're going to bring out those 5 points that I believe, once again, are very important in helping our children develop into the people that they should become and that they need to become in order to be successful. Okay? Now, number one, your presence. I've always talked about this, and I will continue to talk about this. We as fathers must find some way, somehow, to be more present with our children at all times during the years that they're growing. Look, man, these children are growing fast, okay? And they are consistently developing, doing different things, trying different things, and you just don't want to miss being in their presence. I've always said this, that time, okay? When children see you giving them time, they will always understand that, wow, my father loves me. Okay? So, time to a child equals what? Love. And we must begin to give them that time and stay present with them. Okay? Because they need to know that dad is saying to them, I'm present. I'm here for you. I got you. Okay? So, it's all right as a father to the demand. And sometimes you have to put that demand to want to be with your children, regardless of the situation. You have to become the cause in the matter of being present and giving the children time that they really deserve and that they really need. So think about that. Presence. That's the number one thing that children value. Their father's present. And they're very forgiving people. Okay? They are very forgiving people when you decide to give them more time. Okay? You don't want to lose that. Okay? Now, where there's presence, you can begin as a father to number two, offer direction. Okay? That direction means I want to show you the way. I can remember my children when they were younger. Okay? I was able to give direction. Okay? I want to show you I was able to do it. I was able to pull that off. But here's a little secret, and I'm quite sure many of you all have experienced this, okay, with your own parents. We lose our children, we lose the voice with our children, okay? That's what we call it. We lose the voice, okay? What do I mean by that? At some point in their age, they get to a point, usually about 17 or 18, okay, that you really can't say a whole lot to them. They got it going on. They doing their own thing. And in my culture, they'll say they grown folks, okay? So we lose a voice with them at a certain point and a certain age. So being present with them today, when they're toddlers, when they're children, and they're able to communicate and get to know you, your presence, your time shows them that you love them. Now, number two, you're giving them direction as they're growing, okay? Because you want them to be strong individuals, capable of making good decisions. And if you can't tell them exactly how to do something, you can surely live by example as to giving them the direction as to which way you're going, okay? Now, I'm a preacher, been in ministry over 40-some years, okay? And I did not take the scriptures and just run it across my kids for direction. I didn't do that. I didn't make them learn and memorize scriptures. What I simply did, I lived the scriptures. I worked to live as a man, even with my shortcomings and my downfalls. So I believe today that helps a lot in our relationship and how we give the directions, okay? They may not like it, but they understand one thing. I'm not forcing them, and I'm not forcing anything on them, not even my Christian belief and values. I just lived them, okay? So that gives direction. That shows your children which way to go, okay? And that's very important. But the first thing you have to do is to get present with them, okay? Give them that time so that you can give them that direction, okay? Now, number three, encouragement, okay? Encouragement. Now that you're in their presence, now that you're able to give direction, begin to encourage them. Don't beat them down because they didn't follow your direction the first time or they didn't do something the first time. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of saying, look, if you had did it like this the first time, we wouldn't even be right here, okay? Well, I've had to discover that children don't need that type of talk. They need mostly encouragement. They need to hear that they are the best and that they can achieve greatness and that they are great, okay? And begin to talk about how to get there, in their own right. Discover what they like. Discover what they enjoy, okay? And once you discover that, encourage them, okay? Hey, Dad, I like drawing. I like working the computers. I like creating characters. I like doing this. Well, you don't know if this is a childhood phase or is this something that they will end up going worldwide with. We don't know, but we do know this much. If we encourage our children after giving them the proper direction, okay, and after being in their presence and they getting to know us, they getting to trust that what my dad says about me is real. I can take this on through in life. That's what you want your children to look up and say, hey, I can live with this. What my dad is telling me, I really believe I can get there. Why? Because you are encouraging them, especially when they go through their worst moments. Now, I'm probably a little older than a lot of you dads out there, okay? That's right now. And I can tell you this little secret, okay? This is another secret. Look, no matter how old they get, eventually they're going to want to hear somebody that says, you can do it. Keep doing it. Or, hey, you're on the right track. You're going to make it. You're going to exceed whatever it is. Or just that simple. Don't let your fears hold you back, baby. Just keep rolling. You can do it. See, encouragement means a lot. And speaking into our children's life, I can remember in ministry, one of the bishop, sometimes people say things to you, you don't know why, but you get a pretty good sense that You better take him up on it. I remember the bishop said, don't forget to keep speaking into your children's life. Keep encouraging. It just comes from out of nowhere that he's saying that. You know what I'm saying? Now, why is he saying that? Then when I took inventory, I wasn't really talking to my kids and speaking into their life. See, you should lead the pack first in encouraging your children. That's what we get to. That's what we're talking about right now. Okay? That you are encouraging your children to become the best individual or the best version of themselves that they can be. Okay? And that's very important because a lot of times we as fathers, we get so busy. Think about that. You're so busy providing that you fail to be in their presence. Okay? You fail to give direction that is meaningful to them, where they can grow by. And not alone, you don't even think to encourage your children. So how in the world are your children supposed to grow and supposed to become the best version of themselves without a leader, which they should have in their father? Well, Solomon, that sounds good, but you don't understand my situation with the baby mama drama and all of that. Let me say something, and I don't mean to come off script with this or be hard or anything. But any kind of way a man is paying perhaps child support, and he has to be in the courtroom to handle his children, he has to ask, okay? In many cases, if things are not so bad, he needs to ask, I want to spend time with my children. I want to arrange, Your Honor, how to deal with this so that you can be present, so that you can give direction, so that you can encourage your children. And most of all, when your children are with you, make it about you and your children. Mama don't have to be a subject at all, okay? Many men miss that. Mama don't have to be the subject, okay? If that's the type of situation. If you're married, that's good because things should balance out with you all. When it comes to rearing your children, she should have the best interests that you have of being present with your children, giving directions, and then encouraging them. She should have that best interest for all of you all, okay? And that's how we produce better children, okay? Children that's mindful of what's going on and what's happening and being present in the world. That's very important. That's very important that we see that. That's very important that we begin to recognize how to get our children there. Now, fourth, I want to talk about follow, okay? My children follows me, okay? They will follow my lead. That's important. I'm not talking about controlling. If you got this present understood and you can give the direction, okay, and you will encourage your children, there's a big, big, big chance they're going to follow you. They're going to follow the guidance that you give them, the things that you share with them, okay? They're going to do it. Now, if you get out of context and you say, well, I haven't been with my children in a while, or I haven't been there for them like I should, well, that's when you have to go and deal with those other four for whatever length of time until the children decide, you know what? He cool. I like my dad. I love him, and I want to follow him. And children are very forgiving. You'll be amazed. And I don't, this is no conflict. You say, well, right now the children have a stepfather, okay? I don't know what that dynamic is, but are you able to come into your children's life? You're not going in there to have them follow you to go up against the mother and her husband, okay? You're only wanting the children to learn to hear your voice in the areas of succeeding to become great individuals. There's a lot of dynamics involved here. There's a lot of things taking place here in this conversation with men and their children and what have you as they begin to navigate this thing called life, okay? Unfortunately, sometimes we are in a predicament where we have to work through the legal situations to be able to even have our children follow us on any subject. Some of you men are probably great athletes, but that which you're trying to impart into your children, the circumstances of life won't allow it. Okay? But you, once again, have to be the cause in the matter of getting those children in a position to be able to be productive in their own life. And I keep saying it, being the best version of themselves. Okay? Just being the best version of themselves. Now, number 5, and I believe this is the most powerful one. Okay? I told you I'd give you 5 things, that every child needs from dad. Okay? Now, number 5, they simply need love. Okay? Whether it's in your presence or whether you are just saying, I love you. Or whether you say, I love you and go do what you say you're going to do. That's how children start understanding. That's how they form those great identities. That's how they get that great character. And that's how they move into that fabulous future that God and life has provided for them, because they know that they come from a place of love and not from a place of abuse and mistreatment and all of that. Now, men, and I listen to men a lot. One thing I want to leave this with every man. When you love your child, okay? When you love your child and you are a mature man, okay? There's basically not a lot that child can do, okay, to you. If you have been standing in integrity with your child, doing what you say you're going to do when you're supposed to do it, there's not much children can do to hurt you. After all, think about it. They're called children, okay? They're called children. Now, if you want to go a little deeper, read your Bible. God called Israelites the children of Israel for a reason, because children would do just about every and anything you can imagine, rebellion or whatever. But I promise you, if you go back and look at the 5 areas that I'm talking about, and you work diligent in that, and you do it over a period of time, those children will begin to see that love and concern that you have for them. And you know what? A lot of times children will turn around and say, let me just do what dad tell me. Let me give that a try. Because you came from a place of love. You came from a place of concern for them, and they can sense that. They can feel it. And sometimes it don't hurt to tell them I love you. I know my little 8-year-old, a lot of times when he get out the truck and go into daycare, I don't care how his day go, but he never forgets to say, I love you, Dad. Okay? And he's considered one of the roughest kids you want to meet. But before he gets out of that truck, he going to say, I love you, Dad, especially across the telephone, because I'm still a traveling man. Okay? So you have to stop and pay attention, okay, to what's really, really taking place in this area of love for your children. Love is very powerful. It's a powerful thing, okay? Now, what am I saying? Let's look at the principle of life. The principle of life with our children is simply this. We cannot just be a paycheck or ATM source for our children. Every time we come around, if we are distant fathers or if we're a father that's not with their mother and the mother has custody, you shouldn't be looked at as an ATM, okay? Oh, that's just my daddy. By the way, do you have $50? Come on now. We shouldn't be looked at like that. We should have some meaning in our life. And if you're feeling, okay, if you're feeling like all you are is a paycheck or ATM, well, guess what? You caused it. You're the cause in the matter. Now, check my video out. Again, replay it more than once. Because these principles are real. You are more than just a paycheck. You are the leader of those children, and you would be the one responsible if you decide to lead in their life where they're headed and give them the guidance. Now, do children always do what we expect them to do? Well, ask yourself, did you do everything that your parents expected you to do? Okay. Now, if you want to curve it, then you do what? Pull up and adjust. If it was all right with your family and how they treated you and brought you up, you keep it. You move on with it. It's all good because life, okay? Life is too short to not do what we're supposed to do for our children, okay? Now, this week, I want to give you the presence challenge. We're going to call it the presence challenge. What that means is you're going to spend 15 minutes at least with your children. No telephone, no interruption, no nothing. Just 15 minutes with your children. Okay, no television, none of that. Okay, just kicking it, talking, rapping. And if you need time, okay, if you need time to get to your child, do that. Take that time out, but work on the presence challenge when you get there. And never forget, okay, that it takes time to develop these principles into your children's life, okay? Especially if you haven't always been there like that as a dad. Because for most of us men, hey man, our children is our life. Our children is everything to us, okay? And we have to get to that point where we are expressing that freely and we're making it happen for our children because we love them. So this week, take the presence challenge. The presence challenge, 15 minutes a day. Until next time, okay? Be blessed.